Hello, folks. Dinosaurs from Wisconsin. You know, people out there, good people, good hearted people, have been bullied into not doing what's right. And the reason is because people who don't have a good heart, who are not well meaning, they twist your own good desires, your good heart against you. So what happens, a lot of good people have fallen into the hypocrite trap. They believe that I can't speak up and promote good and I can't do good because if I talk about things that are right, when I still do things that are wrong, I'm a hypocrite. Wrong. That's wrong. That is not right. When if you still make mistakes and you're not perfect, if you wait to be perfect before you stand for what's right, before you speak up on what's right, you will never speak up because no one is perfect. And that doesn't make you a hypocrite. You are not a hypocrite when you stand for what's right when you still have faults. That doesn't make you a hypocrite. A hypocrite is a person who has faults and pretends they do not exist. A hypocrite is a person who will judge your salvation whilst pretending the sin that they commit does not exist. A hypocrite will build a long list of the evils you have done to beat you over the head with it, to beat you into submission, to beat you into their will, whilst pretending that the evil that they do and they have done does not exist. That is a hypocrite. Sorry, I got an itchy ear. I think a bug flew in it or something. Anyhow, because there's a lot of the good people are cowed and bullied into not speaking up because they think this lie has been told for so long that if you still have faults, you cannot stand up for what's right or speak up on what's right, or you'll be a hypocrite. That is wrong. You can be aware of your faults and you can have faults and still stand for what's right because you're not pretending your faults don't exist. Our world would be a terrible place if no one ever did anything right because they had done some things wrong in the past. Or they wouldn't stand for or speak up for what's right because they have some faults. And if you have a good heart, the hypocritical people, they will use it against you and they will make you, because you're honest, you'll be like, yeah. They'll bring out faults, they'll bring out mistakes, and they'll get you back on your heels and you'll be like, yeah, I did that. You'll be open and you'll be honest and you'll be like, I'm so sorry. Yes, that was wrong. And when they get you backing up, they will pursue whilst pretending to be lily white themselves. They will have a long list of the evils you do whilst completely ignoring the good. And they will never, ever point out anything they ever did wrong. They will pretend it doesn't exist. There's a lot of people out there. If you hear a story and there's a conflict between people and you might not be sure who's in the right and who's in the wrong, because sometimes, these people who do evil and they build up a case against you, they're really good at hiding who they are. Now, the way you know who's on the right side, who's on the wrong side, the people who are in the wrong, when they talk about the other person, they're really, really good at listing all the things. When they're in the actual conflict, they're really, really good at listing all of the other person's faults. But they'll often only do it with people that are part of their inner circle, that are part of their trusted circle of people just like them. But they will put on this face of sweet and gentleness to the world, and they will pretend like they will say whatever it takes to look good to the world. Now, on the other side of the conflict, you have somebody who's believing that they are the problem because this is all they're being told, and they believe that they are the problem. And when they talk to you, what they will do, they will openly be like, yeah, I did this wrong and I did that wrong and I know that's not right and I shouldn't have done that. And they'll talk about all the things that they did wrong because they think they're the problem, and they think maybe if I'd done this a little bit different, things would change. You're not the problem. If you're the one saying like, yeah, I did this wrong and I did that wrong and I made that person mad, and maybe if I didn't do it this way, I wouldn't have made them mad. I'm sorry to tell anyone in that situation, no matter what you do, a person who has built up a case against you, it doesn't matter what you do. You can literally do the opposite of what you did yesterday, and this kind of person will find something wrong with it. It doesn't matter what you do, it'll be wrong because of how they feel and the bitterness that they have in their heart. They literally, anything you do, something will be picked up, something will be picked apart about it. So if you're in that situation, you're back on your heels and you think you're the problem and you're running and you're desperate and you don't know what to do, you are not the problem. Unfortunately, you have just fallen victim to a bitter, angry people who have decided to lay all of their problems on your shoulders and make you the problem, but you're not. That's how you can tell the difference. You can see the one on one side of the conflict if they talk like, I did this wrong and I did that wrong and I know this upset the person, I know that upset the person. It's really obvious to me that that person is not the problem. They're on the run, they're desperate, and the instigator is really, really good at bringing the worst out in people, and they delight in it. They dig for the things that they know, they dig for your weaknesses, and they try to get you to lose your temper. They do all these manipulative things to make you look bad. And then that's all they'll talk about. They'll never mention how hard they poked and prodded and dug at you to make you to make it a strong word, because we still all have choices, but they will never admit to their part and how hard they tried to get you to do this thing. They wanted it to happen so that they had more evil to talk about, so they could build a stronger case. When you're in a situation like this, know that you are being manipulated by evil. A person who has given themselves over to the wrong influences in their life, who do not want to do what's right. They only want to win, and they want you to lose. And if you you might think that if I just go away, everyone will be happy. You're wrong. If you're in that kind of relationship and you go away, everyone will not be happy. That person will be just as bitter and angry, and they'll just turn it on somebody else. You will not know what kind of freedom you can have until you step away from the person. Emotionally disengage and admit that you are facing somebody who delights in doing evil, somebody who is really very, very nasty. You're not dealing with a normal person. You're not dealing with a normal person with normal problems. You are dealing with a person who is actively pursuing wrong and delighting in your downfall. The only way you can win is to disengage. And that's really, really, really hard in relationships because you have so much invested. And you, the broken one, you love the person doing you wrong so much that it is really, really hard to open your eyes and admit they don't love you. But once you realize that this is not a flawed person who loves me, but this is a person actively setting out to destroy me and destroy my reputation because they have fallen victim to evil. Any person who builds a case against another person, just trying to build a case of this, trying to destroy your reputation with everyone. Any person who sets out and does this and cherry picks the information to make you look as bad as possible to try and destroy you or control you, that person is under the influence of evil because a good person wouldn't do that. A good person looks at all the facts and weighs the good and the bad. A good person realizes we're only human, we all make mistakes. Good people do not try to tear other people down. They don't try to build a story to make you look as evil as possible. Good people don't do that. But I'm telling you, there's people amongst us who do these kind of things. They're really good at hiding it. The only people who really know who they are the ones closest to them. And when you find out a story like this, the temptation is to go over there and tell the ones doing wrong, give them what for, and that's the temptation because in your mind you're trying to get rid of wrong. But it doesn't work, usually. The ones who are suffering, it only makes their life, now they have even more against you. And they try to make your life even more miserable. So if you see wrong and evil and you want to fight it, support the one who needs you. Support the good that you see. Encourage the good. Go to the one who needs you and ignore the evildoers. Because what often happens in these enmeshed situations, you go after the evil and the good people suffer even more. It's like the parable Jesus spoke of, the wheat and the weeds, the tares. There are weeds so entangled in the wheat that to yank out all the weeds, you destroy the crop. So if you really want the wheat, your crop, to do well, you encourage the crop and you keep feeding it and you let the weeds do whatever they will do. Because you don't want to go after the evil at the expense of the good people. Support the ones who are a good people. You support them and love them so that they have the strength to deal with the evil in their lives. You can't always eradicate the evil. And sometimes you might pursue it so hard you go after the wrong people. So the best thing to do is support the good in people's lives. And when somebody is struggling and needs your help, you try to support them. If you're the one struggling, you reach out. You reach out to anybody who cares. You're not alone. There's other people who went through this. They know what you're feeling. You're not alone. May the strength of God be with you.